Right now, there are 7 SUVs sitting on dealer lots across the country that look like great deals on paper, and every single one of them is a ticking time bomb. I'm not talking about cars with 100,000 miles and a salvage title. I'm talking about brand new, shiny, fresh off the lot SUVs that people are financing for 6-7 years, and they're going to regret it before the first oil change is due. After 23 years of turning wrenches, I've seen every mistake a buyer can make. But 2026? This year's lineup has some of the worst offenders I've ever seen. Today I'm counting down 7 SUVs everyone will regret buying. And number 1 is the one I see rolling into my shop the most. Let's get into it. I've been under the hood of just about every brand you can name. I don't work for a dealership, I don't get kickbacks, I just fix what breaks. And some of these SUVs break a lot. I'm going deepest on number 1 because that's the one that's going to cost people the most money and the most headaches. We're starting at number 7 and working our way down. Number 7, the Mitsubishi Outlander. The SUV that lures you in with a low sticker price and punishes you with a transmission that gives up before you do. Had a guy come in last month, 34 years old, just bought a 2026 Outlander because the price looked unbeatable. 18 months later, he's staring at a $4,200 CVT transmission repair bill. That's not a typo. Mitsubishi prices these low for a reason. They cut corners where it counts. The 2.5-liter 4-cylinder is underwhelming, and that Jatco CVT has a documented failure pattern between 60,000 and 90,000 miles. I've personally replaced 5 of them in the last 2 years. A comparable Toyota RAV4 holds its value and won't need a transmission at 70,000. When you're shopping, check for shuddering between 30 and 45 miles per hour. That's your early warning sign. If you need cheap and reliable, look elsewhere. If you think that's bad, wait until you hear number 6. Number 6, the Chevrolet Trax. A cheap monthly payment disguised as a good deal? Until the turbo blows. A 26-year-old nurse came in last year, bought a brand new Trax because the monthly payment was low. Within 14 months, she had a turbo failure. $2,800 out of pocket after warranty fought her on coverage. The 1.2-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder in this thing is working overtime just to move the car. It's not built for longevity. Pair that with the cheapest interior materials GM could find, and you've got a car that feels like it's falling apart at 40,000 miles. A Honda HR-V costs about $3,000 more up front, but will save you double that in repairs over 5 years. Check the turbo wastegate actuator and listen for rattling on cold starts. If you want a small SUV that lasts, this isn't it. But number 5 is even worse. Number 5, the Volkswagen Tiguan. It looks European and refined until you get the repair bill and realize you're paying luxury prices for a mainstream car. Here's what nobody tells you about the Tiguan. A 41-year-old teacher brought hers in with 52,000 miles. Water pump failure, $1,900. 3 months later, the DSG transmission needed a mechatronic unit. That was $3,400. In less than a year, she spent more on repairs than her car was worth in trade-in value. The 2.0-liter TSI engine is decent in theory, but VW's parts pricing is borderline luxury level. A timing chain tensioner failure on this engine can cascade into a $5,000 repair. Meanwhile, a Mazda CX-5 with the same mileage needs maybe an oil change and brake pads. Check for oil consumption. If it's burning a quart every 2,000 miles, walk away. Number 4 might surprise you. Number 4, the Jeep Compass. All badge, no backbone. The SUV people buy. For the name and regret for the transmission. I've lost count of how many Compass owners I've had to give bad news to. A 29-year-old guy bought one because he wanted the Jeep badge. At 38,000 miles, his 9-speed automatic started hunting between gears like it couldn't make up its mind. That's the ZF9 HP transmission, and it's a known problem. The 2.0-liter turbocharged engine replaced the old 2.4, but the transmission programming is still a mess. Repair? $3,600 for a valve body replacement. A Subaru Forester with symmetrical AWD costs about the same and won't leave you stranded. Check for harsh shifts between second and third gear during test drives. If you're buying a Jeep for the name, you're paying a premium for problems. And this next one, number 3, is where it gets really interesting. Number 3, the Nissan Rogue. America's best-selling mistake. The SUV everyone buys because everyone else bought one. The Rogue is one of the best-selling SUVs in America, and that's exactly the problem. People buy it without asking questions. A 53-year-old woman brought hers in at 61,000 miles with a completely dead CVT. Cost to replace $4,600. Nissan's Xtronic CVT has been a reliability nightmare for over a decade, and the 2026 model still uses a version of it. The 1.5-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder is fuel-efficient on paper, but it's working hard to move a vehicle this size. A Toyota RAV4 or Honda CR-V will cost you $2,000 to $4,000 more upfront and save you $8,000 over the life of the vehicle. Check the CVT fluid. If it's dark or smells burnt on a used one, don't even negotiate. Just leave. But number 2 is the one that really gets under my skin. Number 2, the Dodge Hornet, an Alfa Romeo in disguise, which means Italian electrical problems at American prices. This is where it gets really interesting. Dodge took an Alfa Romeo Tonale, slapped a Dodge badge on it, and priced it like a mainstream SUV. A 37-year-old electrician bought one, loved it for 6 months, then the 1.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder started misfiring. Ignition coil failure, $1,100. Then, the electronic parking brake module went, another $900. This car shares its platform with Alfa Romeo, which means you're getting Italian electrical gremlins at American brand prices. The 6-speed automatic feels outdated, and the interior electronics glitch constantly. A Hyundai Tucson gives you more space, better reliability, and a 10-year powertrain warranty for less money. Check every electronic system during the test drive. Windows, locks, infotainment, parking brake. If anything hesitates, run. Now, number 1. This is the one I recommend people avoid more than any other SUV on the market right now. Number 1. The Chevrolet Equinox EV. The most hyped SUV of 2026, and the one that's going to leave the most people stranded in their own driveways. I know what you're thinking. Everyone's raving about this car. And that's exactly why it's number 1. A 45-year-old accountant bought one 8 months ago. Battery management system error at 11,000 miles. The dealer kept it for 6 weeks because they didn't have the parts or the training to fix it. 6 weeks without a car, he's still making payments on. The Ultium battery platform is GM's first real mass-market EV push, and the early production quality control is not where it needs to be. I've seen charging port failures, phantom range drops, and software glitches that lock out the entire infotainment system. The most expensive repair I've quoted? $7,200 for a battery cooling system issue at 22,000 miles. A Tesla Model Y, with the same range costs, slightly more, but has years of production refinement behind it. A Hyundai Ioniq 5 has a better warranty and a more proven platform. Check for software update history, uneven tire wear from alignment issues, and any battery warning lights, even if they cleared themselves. If you're an early adopter who loves risk, go ahead. But if you're financing this for 7 years and need it to work every single day, I'm not exaggerating. This is the SUV I'd avoid above all others in 2026. 7 SUVs, 7 money pits. The Outlander with its throwaway CVT, the Trax that falls apart, the Tiggan with luxury repair bills, the Compass that can't find its own gears, the Rogue that everyone buys and everyone regrets, the Hornet with Alfa Romeo problems, and the Equinox EV, the most hyped SUV of the year that isn't ready for prime time. That's 23 years of watching these cars roll in and out of my shop.